Hello. I have been so, so sick. All of the swear words, feel them. I have been that sick. And I'm just kind of regaining my voice, and I am tired. So, forgive me. I have posted my essay about Project Hail Mary, and here is day 4 of the story. Day 4. All right. The office walls felt alive today, attentive and watching. System went to the lunchroom as usual and poured herself a cup of caffeinated sludge. The milk she had brought in the day before was only partially frozen, so she gave it a good shake and called it good enough. She poured the slush into her cup and sighed. She glanced up at the black orb in the corner of the room and nodded. "Good morning, Charles," she said softly. She had packed a simple lunch, a croissant and cheese with apple slices, no need to use the fridge. She carried lunch kit and coffee with her to her desk. The chair was in its right position. Had Charles been in the night before or worked from home? She booted the computer up just to avoid seeing her own face any longer. When everything loaded, she took a long look at the icons on the screen. Was she imagining things, or had they multiplied? Many of these icons were wildly unfamiliar. Were these for Charles? She had no reason to use them and probably didn't have the correct permissions to do so anyway. She started up her systems and began to take calls. She took call notes more cautiously. No more shorthand, clear sentences, and no humor. She was writing as if someone was reading the words over her shoulder and might need to be able to follow along. After a few hours of working, she came across a file that she needed technical assistance with. She inwardly groaned. She could file a ticket and wait, or she could see if Charles was online. She hesitated. The mouse paused over the personal memo. "Good afternoon, Charles. Are you awake? This order is stuck in the system. I've done all the troubleshooting I can think of. Do you want me to send over the case details so you can help when you're free?" Seconds passed. Then a response appeared. "May I remotely access your device?" She frowned, then nodded. She laughed when she realized he might have been able to see her nod. She typed, "Yes, you may access my device. I will stay out while you work." She took out a scrap of paper and noted down the time for her report later. She had just exhaled and began to get comfortably reclined in her chair when the word "done" appeared on the screen. He was good. That was very fast, not even worth filing a report for. "Thank you, Charles," she typed into the memo, then got back on the call with the client, advising of the status of their order as she typed out the closing report. They were delighted. They were delighted. She reminded them of the after-call survey, and they promised to give her a good review. As the next call came in, she quickly typed, "Why don't scientists trust atoms?" She was unable to authenticate her caller, but based on their tone of voice and rapid-fire speech, she could tell they were angry. She could almost see the spittle forming around their mouth as they spat out demands as if they were facts all of reality had to obey. This was clearly not the account holder. And the increasing hostility was clearly a manipulation tactic. She calmly repeated that she was happy to answer general questions, but unless they could answer her verification questions, she would be unable to help them. The call dropped. Her eyes drifted over to the memo. The word "why" had appeared. She typed the response, "Because they make of everything. Thanks again for your help." Another call came in. We must enunciate our words. Another call came in. She answered with her usual tone of soft enthusiasm, and the caller responded in kind. "Good afternoon. Can you hear me?" System paused and then replied, "I can hear you. How can I help you today?" "Can you hear me?" the caller repeated. "I can hear you," System replied, frowning. "How can I help you today?" Something in her stomach tightened in the way it did when something sat wrong on a shelf, or a person pursed their lips and stared expectantly at her. Wrong in a way that didn't match the level of alarm. "How are you doing?" the caller asked. "Fine, thank you. How can I help you today?" she asked, leaning forward. "What is your website?" the caller asked. System spelled out the URL using the military alphabet. The caller repeated the website back to her. The timing was off. Her pauses felt slightly delayed and unnatural. The caller continued, "Thank you. What are your hours of operation?" System sat back in her chair as a sentence appeared in her memo. "This appears to be a bot call. I can file the report if you disconnect now." System paused and then dropped the call and typed a response. "I didn't even get to find out if they are going to take me on a whimsical exploration of my mother's maiden name before marriage." Her system switched to after-call work automatically. That caught her attention, but she was already moving mechanically toward the washroom. She sat in the stall for a minute, just blinking and breathing. She had never felt so conscious of her pulse and how it fluttered in her neck. She took her time washing her hands, and she walked back to her desk slowly. No one looked twice at her. No one asked a single thing. When she returned to her desk, she typed into the memo, "How did you know?" The response came fast. "I'm watching the back end. You did great. Don't worry. The report is filed. Take a minute. Then take your next call. You're almost done with your workday." She started to type something, several stops and several backspaces before finally sending "thanks." Then she clicked ready. The rest of her shift passed in a blur of routine calls, her mind only half present, still turning over the bot interaction in Charles' watchful efficiency.